This week, LA hosted the 48th Annual National Association of the Commissions for Women. The theme this year was Cities Leading Women, where they looked at inequalities through the gender lens.
So today we have, and actually this week we have about 270 people from around the country and Los Angeles who are participating in the annual conference for the National Association of Commissions on Women. This is a really big deal for Los Angeles because we have women from all over the country here to learn about LA, learn about all the great work that LA is doing on gender equity. Our mayor is a national leader, in fact an international leader on the topic of gender equity.
And my wife and I, we are up here together for a reason. Gender equity is an integral part of our relationship and our life's work. As feminists, as activists, we've been fighting for a more equal world for our entire lives.
Most people don't realize that there are gender inequalities in society. We don't necessarily think they exist, but for example, the whole Me Too movement, the whole notion that there's sexual harassment that's a pervasive problem in society. A lot of people haven't thought about it. People who have been the victims of sexual harassment have thought, well, it's an isolated situation. So by being able to publicize and identify and point out areas where we see gender inequality and gender inequities, it's very important so that we can address them and correct them and make this a more fair and just world for everybody.
Gender inequity exists in things that you really don't think are sort of gender issues. And so that's why we think it's really important to apply what we're calling a gender lens. So looking at how everything we do actually impacts women. And so I'll give you an example of that. One of the things that I'm particularly interested in is transportation. And so we're currently redesigning and reimagining what those routes could look like, and applying a gender lens to that means that we're thinking about the unique ways with which women and girls will actually use the transit system. We want to ensure that we're looking at all of the areas that there are gender inequity in our societies, and what we as commissions can do in our roles where we influence governments, elected officials, and our community members to address some of those gaps. So it's about that capacity building and the sort of how-to and the toolkits to actually make real change happen.
So I come to every conference thinking I'm going to learn something new and be inspired by the women that I meet, and take that inspiration and do something with it when I get home.
I think that we're going to try to come up with some solutions and some answers to go back to our individual cities and try to get to work and do something about things as far as electing more women to offices, addressing issues on human trafficking, pay inequities among women. I have 4 granddaughters, so I'm hoping that in years to come they can say when women get together, we all did something to make it better for the new generation.